Today, we're going to talk about the Social Security Trust Fund and the 2.6, $2.7 trillion dollars that's just hanging out there. Is it worth the paper it's written on? And is it going to support the baby boomers in the future and beyond? We'll talk about that today and some of the hype and all the rest of misinformation out there that we see from politicians. Go figure, politicians not giving correct information. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Ed Weir. I'm a former manager of the Social Security Administration in my kind of semi-retirement. I'm doing all these videos. This is a live Q&A, so I'll talk about the trust fund for not very long today. It's about 10 minutes. And then for the rest of the time, the other 50 minutes, I'm going to answer all your questions, help to make sure you're getting everything you're entitled from Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, Medicaid state program, but health insurance, retirement benefits, disability benefits, spouse benefits, survivor benefits, all the rest of it. So if you've got questions, looks like we already got a bunch of questions down there. So I'll talk about the trust fund, the topic of the day, and then we'll get into all of those. So make sure you subscribe, like, and share, and all that kind of good stuff so more people get the information and get everything they're entitled to. All right, so let's talk about the trust fund today. Um, there is a presidential candidate who said that the trust fund, that money in the trust fund, are worthless IOUs. They're not worth it, and Americans shouldn't count on these worthless IOUs. The presidential candidate was named Alfred Alf Landon. The reason you probably never heard of him is he was running for president in 1936. So this whole worthless IOUs of the Social Security Trust Fund has been around for 90 years, and it's been the same thing. And what it is, it's an attempt nowadays to erode the faith and the trust in the Social Security Administration. So one of the things, ideas you should always ask yourself, who benefits when I believe X, Y, or Z? So who benefits when you believe that it's the Social Security is going to go bankrupt and the trust funds are useless and all the rest of it? Well, the people on Wall Street who have been chomping at the bit to get those trillions of dollars, they think it's not worthless IOUs. They want that money. Social Security produces $1 trillion every year. They've got $2 or $3 trillion in the bank, and Wall Street wants that money. So politicians are trying to help them get that money by eroding trust in Social Security and kind of run out the clock. So they come up with these arguments, oh, it's all useless, or it's going bankrupt, or the only way we can do it is raise the retirement age, and we can't tax rich people like the rest of us, and all the rest of it. So it's kind of attempts to kind of run out the clock, all of these. There is no perfect solution. If we can't come up with one silver bullet that solves 100% of the problem and gets Ed his hair back, then there's no use in doing anything. So let's just run out the clock and talk, and then by that time it'll be 2034, which is right around the corner, and then there's going to be a 20% cut at least across the board of your Social Security checks, and at that time drastic things need to happen, and that's when Wall Street swoops down in there, and says, hey, we'll take it over for you. All right, so these worthless IOUs, who owns these worthless IOUs? Basically treasury bonds, treasury securities. 22.9% of treasury securities, US, worthless IOUs, are owned by foreign countries. China, Japan is number one. Japan's been number one for a long time. China, the United Kingdom, Luxembourg, Canada. So they own about 23% of all of these. Why do they buy these IOUs all the time? Because they're the safest investment in the world. All countries know that the US Treasury bonds, those securities, are the safest in the world. And who owns the rest? Independent investors. Companies own the rest. And then SSA owns 2.7 trillion of that. But all the rest of the treasury bonds, investors. So if you have a 401k, you own these worthless IOUs. If you have an IRA, all the rest of it, those are those IOUs. And just like everything else, stocks are an IOU. You have a stock and a company, somebody promises to pay you. Notes, that is that piece of paper in your wallet. I always argue anybody that comes in my live Q&As, oh, it's all worthless IOUs, all this, well, it's the full faith and credit of the United States government. And you're like, okay, yeah, well, there you said it right there. But Again, banks throughout the country, throughout the world trust these investors. Warren Buffett just sold a bunch of Apple and he bought treasury bonds because they're the safest in the world. So those notes you have in your pocket, the $20, $10, $1, if those are useless IOUs, always challenge people. It says, okay, send me a video of you in your living room burning all the money you have. Take all that money of the worthless IOUs out of the bank and your IRAs, put it in a big pile and burn it and show me. Put your money where your mouth is. And nobody's ever done that yet. And hopefully nobody will ever. That means they're not all there, perhaps. So banks, same type of situation. Remember the old scene in It's a Wonderful Life where there was a run on the bank and they went down there and we want our money back. And Jimmy Stewart says, well, it's not like it's sitting here in the bank in cash so I can give it out to it's, it's loaned to this person, loaned to that person. That's how banks work. That's how the U.S. Treasury works as well. They just don't sit the money in, Fort Knox or, chock full of chock full of nut cans in the behind the White House or something. So, and worthless IOUs, the military. I'm an old Marine Corps sergeant, and the military is financed by these same IOUs. So if the argument is we need to shut down Social Security, it's completely worthless because these IOUs are completely worthless, then far more of our budget goes to the military. So I haven't heard anybody talk about, well, we need to shut down the military because we don't have money to run it because it's just a bunch of worthless IOUs. So that's kind of one of the arguments they use. I'm probably going to do, there was a speech recently, there was a committee, a congressional committee to kind of solve the issues of solvency, of what to do, because if we don't do anything, then absolutely there's going to be a cut anywhere from 17-20% or more in the next 9 years to your Social Security checks. And so we need to be serious and solve the issues. And talking about, raising the retirement age, I think, no, absolutely not. In my personal opinion, and everybody that joins me on my live Q&A pretty much agrees. And just kicking the can down the road by saying there's no perfect solution, they're all useless IOUs, and it's a demographic thing. There's not enough people working. Well, that is, but it's more of an income inequality thing than anything else. So you can watch all my other videos. But that's what I wanted to spend time on today, that specific issue. And now let's get into all of your questions. So if you have questions, make sure you type them in the chat. And it can be, if you completely disagree with what I said, please jump in there and let me know. All right, so let's get into actually finding you some of that worthless IOU money. And it's surprising, since 1935, 1936, when Social Security started, when they actually started giving out the first check, all those checks have cleared. And I've given out billions of dollars in my Social Security office that I ran, and nobody had a problem going to the bank and, paying, cashing it and paying the rent and stuff like that. So those worthless IOUs seem to be working so far. Anyway, all right. So if on disability, can you open a stock market account? What happens if you earn interest or dividends? Will it affect your benefits? So if you're on regular SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, doesn't matter. You can do that. You've got $1 billion. You can go invest it in the stock market and get dividends and whatever the case may be. No relevance whatsoever. More power to you. If you're on SSI, the welfare-based program, which just celebrates its 50th year, that's a welfare-based program, SSI, Supplemental Security Income. Everybody messes up SSI. They think SSI is Social Security Income or something. No, it's the welfare-based program that Social Security administers. If you have SSI and you have any type of money, then your SSI is probably going to stop because you're limited in terms of resources. Resources, $2,000 if you're single, $3,000 if you're married. But you're probably just talking SSDI. So if you have retirement money, if you get a retirement benefits, what you earn if you win $1 billion in the lottery or an inheritance won't affect your Social Security retirement, won't affect your spouse benefits, won't affect your survivor benefits, won't affect your Social Security disability insurance. You're probably going to pay an extra premium on your Medicare Part B, but all the rest of it, no relevance. Someone asked me, what's the difference between people who are 100% disabled versus 50% disabled? Can they both still earn extra money? If so, how much? Social Security has no such animal. You're probably talking about the Veterans Administration. In my office, We had many vets in my office that were receiving disability, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40% or whatever. Um, and for Social Security purposes, they were not disabled. In Social Security, you're either disabled or you're not. And Social Security defines disability as the inability to work. So those vets in my office, the VA determined them to be disabled, but they were not disabled for Social Security purposes because they were still working and able to work, and they were awesome. I would argue. So just kind of side note on that one. Love your channel. Have shared with many friends and family. Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, that goes a long way because that's how we teach this, these dumb YouTube algorithms and AIs that this is important information. And the more people that get this information make their life easier. So please, please just click that little like button. I'm 60 and husband passed away 2023. Sorry about that. I'm on disability and want to get off and need to go to work for more income. What should I tell Social Security? So if you're on regular Social Security disability insurance, SSDI, you can go to work. If you're on SSI, you can go to work, but there are limitations. And I did a video on that. There's the videos I've done. The top one is SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, because there's, you can work and receive disability benefits for SSDI. There's like a 9-month trial work period where you can make $1 billion. I always exaggerate by saying $1 billion, but yeah, just kind of get the point home. So for 9 months, you can make $1 billion a month for the first 9 months, and it won't affect your Social Security benefits at all. After that, then it's different. There's a 36-month extended period of eligibility and everything. For SSI, because again, SSI is a welfare-based program, there's stricter limitations. So watch those 2 videos, and it gets pretty gory in terms of the details. So make sure you watch those videos, and that will help you out. And yeah, good luck going back to work. Make some extra money, and it's a beautiful thing. Let's see here. Take and Took is always helping out here and trying to get people. Take and Took has found so much money for people out there because he's always looking to help out and get this information out there to people. And a lot of people said, "Hey, I just went to Social Security and I got more money." It's because of people like Take and Took and all the rest out there. Can I collect from my husband? I'm 67. He's 65. He's on disability. It depends on the benefit amounts. So his benefit amount has to be twice yours. It sounds like my husband, so it's not an ex, it's a current husband. So I would check, obviously he sounds like he's right there, but if the numbers look close, because what you need to do is check it's based on the PIA, not the MBA. And PIA is the primary insurance amount. That is your amount at your full retirement age, your husband's amount at full retirement age, even though your checks might be reduced. His won't be reduced because he's on disability. But those are the numbers you look at. You don't look at your check amount. That's your monthly benefit amount. That's, could be reduced based on, obviously, Medicare, but early, retirement and all the rest of it. So don't look at those numbers because a lot of people look at those. Oh, yours is not twice as mine. So, okay, I guess there's no more money. And they go on with their life and they don't realize there's more money out there. So if it looks like it's close, so like if your husband is receiving 1,500 and you're receiving 1,200, then yeah, it's not even close. So you won't be able to get any more benefits, or he won't be able to get any more benefits on yours, because one has to be twice the other. That changes when a spouse passes away. A living spouse benefit has to be twice the other benefit amount. Surviving spouse benefits, widow benefits, same thing. If it's $1 more, you get that extra dollar. So a lot of people out there are missing money because they think it has to be twice even after the person passes away. Filing to Social Security tomorrow. Okay, I will be 60 October 2nd. My husband died June 11th of last year. He was 65 3 months ago, did a Social Security disability on the phone. What is it I need to ask? I never got the amount for 59 to 60. Um, so so you got your so you're going to go ahead and file for survivor benefits. The only way you can get it before 60 is if you were disabled. It's called disabled widows benefits. So sounds like you filed for disability benefits a few months ago, and you're waiting for the decision. But if you need money now and you can't wait for that disability decision, then you go ahead and file for regular survivor benefits like you're doing. So when you call them up, just ask them, how's my disability claim going, um, and have them run the numbers. Well, actually, if you're approved for disability, even if the amount is the same, because on disabled widows benefits you get 71.5% of the person's primary insurance amount. If you're 60, you're basically going to get the same amount. So disabled widows benefits and surviving spouse benefits, in your case, probably exactly the same. I'd double check. There's other smaller variables there, but Medicare, if you get approved for disability, then you'll get Medicare 3 years ahead of the game, because normally you're going to get Medicare at 65, but if you're approved for disability, you'll get it, in 2 years. So I would keep pushing for the disability. So if the person says, well, you're going to get the same amount on surviving spouse, so let's go ahead and stop the disability. They won't say that, but just in case they say something stupid like that, then say no, because my Medicare will start earlier. So there's that. Good afternoon, and thank you for all that you do. You're welcome. Any knowledge how CHAMP VA is calculated? Does it count against Medicare or SSDI monthly income? And 58, married to my late husband for 14 and a half. No, it has no relevance on anything. Basically, CHAMP VA, TRICARE for life, all that has no relevance on Social Security monthly benefits. And for TRICARE, you have to sign up for Medicare Part A and Part B. It's the typical government bureaucracy, moving costs from one bureaucratic agency to another type situation. But no, if you got CHAMP VA, it doesn't affect Social Security or Medicare at all. Spouse, I believe that I was given incorrect information from the help desk regarding my applying for retroactive SSDI benefits regarding my minor child. They want her to apply. She is not disabled. I am. So if she is not disabled, I am. So yeah, if you're going to be receiving any type of Social Security benefits, SSDI, not SSI, but SSDI, retirement benefits, then if you have any children under the age of 18, then they are entitled to benefits until they reach the age of 18, or they graduate high school, or 19 and 2 months. If they're still in high school at 19 and 3 months, they won't get it for that last month. Or if they became disabled before the age of 22, but that doesn't sound like your case. It just sounds like you've got a minor child. Yep. And so, yeah, once yours is approved, then they need to take a claim for that minor child. So they'll take two claims. They'll take the auxiliary child claim. So it's basically they're going to receive 50% of your full benefit amount. And if the child is, under 18, sometimes children want to take care of their own money, but they'll take what's called a representative payee application. So you can be in charge of that person's benefits, unless they're, you say, oh yeah, child's 17, I'll let her go ahead and him or her take care of her own benefits. So that happens sometimes. So that's how you fix that. I meant going to Social Security tomorrow. Appreciate all you do. You're welcome. I have a public intoxication Class C misdemeanor in Texas, and yeah, is that a worthless IOU, or can we be part of my medical report? SSDI. Yeah, that has nothing to do with any type of SSDI that you're talking about. That's why I went to high school in a dry county, Lamar County, northeast Texas. I had to go across the border to Oklahoma to get alcohol. I don't know if it's still a dry county anymore, but anyway. Advance happy birthday. 50 is myself 59 on that day. Thank you for all your sound advice. You're welcome. I meant going to Social Security tomorrow. Ex is married 16 years. Okay, I think I answered that one. Or welfare funds seem to never run out. Yeah, that's basically welfare comes from general taxation, just like SSI comes from general taxation. Worthless IOU can say that about government to shut it down, defund politicians granted to take money from the treasury, but it still gets paid by the taxpayer. Yes, that is a fact. Yeah, and ultimately we're the ones that have to pay for it. But um, yes, let's see. I wish I could be an independent investor. My Medicare wouldn't be $450 a month. Yeah, it sounds like you are paying the IRMA, income related monthly adjustment amount. So if you're single for this year, if your earnings were over $103,000 2 years ago, or if you were married, earnings over $206,000 2 years ago, then you're paying the extra Medicare. But there's a lot of people that miss this, because there are exceptions. If you were making, let's say you're single, you were making over $103,000 2 years ago on because of work, and since then you stop working, then you can file an SSA 44, a life changing event, and say, hey, I'm not working anymore, so I'm not making that money. And they will negate that extra premium, and you'll just pay the other, you just pay like everybody else. So that's not too late to do it now. That if they approve that SSA 44, the life changing event, then they'll give you all that money back that you paid starting January. So definitely check that out. All right. Zippy, just increase the FICA tax limit, make all rich people. That would fix Social Security. That is the one solution that would fix it, not perfectly, but 90% plus of the way, is to increase the cap. We pay FICA tax on all our income. If you're like me and make under $168,600, and we pay FICA on all our tax. But if you make over $168,600, no more Social Security FICA tax. They pay Medicare tax, but yeah, I was watching a congressional hearings about a week or so ago. I need to do a video on this one about this is the stupidest, kick the can down give Social Security Walmart to give Social Security to Wall Street. Yeah, speech I've heard by a politician, and they're like, well, we can't tax, we can't, put this Social Security tax on rich people, because that'll disincentivize them from working. They will not. I'm like, number one, I've, bought a whole bunch of stuff from Amazon, and Jeff Bezos has never delivered one of those. And, working, it's like, okay, so if these, people have an opportunity to make $1 billion by moving, money from one place to another, they won't do it because they'll have to pay an extra 100 million into Social Security. So they'll give up the other hundreds of millions because they're going to, support the elderly and disabled in this country. Yeah, it's like us. It's like, okay, how many of you out there would say, oh, okay, I've got an opportunity to earn another $10,000, but if I do that, I have to give 10,000 of that, or 1,000 of that, to Social Security. So I'll just give up that $9,000, obviously other taxes, but I'll just give up those several $1,000s because I have to give an extra 10% to Social Security. Yeah, no, that's just one of the stupidest, reasons not to do anything. Again, they're just kicking the can down the road, to make it a super big emergency, and then they'll say, well, we tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas, so I guess we're just gonna have to shut it down and give it to Wall Street, right? I have an appointment with you on Sunday. What do I need to know in advance? No, I will call you at that particular time. Scott, looks like you scheduled an appointment with me. I do just a few appointments a day. Unfortunately, I have to charge for those to pay for everything else. 99.9% of my help is free. I've got, so I answer questions here pretty much every day through live Q&A. I've got a team that helps out with Medicare. They help out with Medicare for free. They don't charge anything. But I do private consultations over the phone. So Scott, I will call you at exactly that time. I always like to be right on time. The old Marine Corps sergeant of me. All right, let's see here. CJ, My friend Donna says she stopped working at 63. I love these questions. My friend, a little old lady down the street, my coworker. So yes, please help those people out there that need help. She wants to delay Social Security until 70. She wants to know, will her Social Security benefit increase to 70 years old, though not working anymore? She has 35 years of earnings. 100%. Yes. Um, Again, we're talking about on her own record. So these are not survivor benefits or spouse benefits, but she does not want to take benefits on her own record until she hits 70, the month she hits 70. And yes, that will increase her benefits every year. It's called delayed retirement credits. So from her full retirement age, she'll get 8% per year added onto her Social Security. So if she gets $1,000, then if she gets it at 70, she'll get $1,240. So yes, that is 100% the fact. And she doesn't have to necessarily wait till 70. So she can wait till 69 or 69 and 2 months, and they'll add every month she delays, they'll add more of those delayed retirement credits onto her record. So if she's 69, she says, well, yeah, it looks like I want to go ahead and get it started, then she can get it at 69 or 69 and a half or whatever the case may be. But tell her, do not wait after she turns 70, because she no longer gets delayed retirement credits. There's no more increase based on delaying those benefits after the month she turns 70. She'll still get COLAs and stuff like that. So she'll get the delayed retirement credits. She'll get a COLA to that benefit amount. And if she's still working, if she's not, but if people are still working and they pay into Social Security, and that's one of the high 35 years, they'll get an increase based on that recalculation as well. So there's 3 increases right there. But waiting till 70 is not for everybody. It depends on your particular situation, whether you need the money, your health and longevity in your family, and all that kind of good stuff. Thank you so much for your help. I shared with a few of my neighbors. Awesome. Social Security called me today and completed processing my application. She was very knowledgeable and also signed me up for Part A, Part B. Awesome. Good deal. Since it's good news and they sound like they took care of you and they were polite at Social Security, type in which office it was. I always like to give a shout out to, yeah, there's so many get bad experiences. So when office does good, let us know. So because you have Part A and Part B, now you just have to figure out what you're going to do with all the rest of it. If you have a Medicare broker that you know and trust, make sure you reach out to them and get signed up, because there's a lot of gaps in Part A, Part B. The big one is the Part B gap that Medicare only pays 80%, so you're on the hook for the other 20%. So you have to get either Medicare supplement plan, which are the ones I recommend, Plan N or Plan G, if you can fit it within your budget. If not, then a Medicare Advantage plan. So you can click on that little QR code or email me or call, and my Medicare team can call you up. And if you're looking to review your plan for next year, email, call, click on that little code there, because next year, 2025, is going to be big changes. Caveat for you, since you just signed up for Part A and Part B, your Part A, Part B won't start until maybe October or something. So you'll need a plan, a 2024 plan for October, November, December. So if it starts October, you should go ahead and get signed up for that. So you get that coverage. And then unfortunately, you'll immediately have to figure out whether that plan is still the best plan for 2025. If your Medicare Part B starts in November, that's probably best. And that way you don't have to do it once. You can go ahead and, because the new plans, the new plans for 2025 come out October 1st. So they'll come out October 1st. So find the best plan you like in October. That'll start in November. And then it's the same plan for 2025, and it'll just roll over. So, but if your Medicare starts October 1st, then unfortunately you'll have to do that twice. Yeah, so there's that. How early should one apply to retire to get benefits in January 2024? Last year? You mean 2025? Yeah. Yeah, a couple, 3 months before is fine. You can do it online, call and schedule an appointment if you actually want to talk to a human being, the phone appointment or something like that. So yeah, a couple, 3 months before is plenty of time. Make sure you check your earnings record. Go into ssa.gov, set up an account. That's the most important. That's how they determine how much they're going to pay you for the rest of your life, is based on your earnings record. So make sure you go in there and check your earnings record and make sure it is all correct. Let me see, looking on my other social media things here, if there's any other questions. I'm on disability payments. When I retire, agree, will my benefits change? Yes. When you're on disability benefits, SSDI, when you turn your full retirement age, your disability automatically switches to regular retirement benefits. Most people don't even recognize it happens. So basically, if you're a full retirement age of 67 years old, they just stop taking your money out of the Social Security Disability Trust Fund and they start taking out of the Social Security Retirement Trust Fund. The check amount stays the same, direct deposit stays the same, but you're now free. You're no longer technically on disability benefits from Social Security, so you don't have to do those CDRs, the continuing disability reviews. You don't have, there's no work limitations because you're on regular Social Security after your full retirement age. So again, go out there and make $1 billion, and Social Security doesn't care. It'll increase your Social Security benefit, and you won't have to pay FICA taxes on. You'll pay less than 0.05% or something on for FICA, while the rest of us Joe Schmoes have to pay all of our income on FICA. But if you're making $1 billion, yeah, you don't pay FICA like the rest of us. Yeah. So anyway, so we need to raise the cap. I am 62 and drawing my Social Security. My husband is 60. Am I penalized on my spousal benefits? He plans on taking his Social Security at full retirement age. His full retirement age is 2,400 different at FRA. No, if your benefits are reduced because you started your benefits at 62, your spouse benefits will be determined. The amount will be determined on when he files, how old you are when he files. So if he files and you're your full retirement age at that time, then you'll receive 50% of his benefit. Mine is your own. So for instance, if at full retirement, your full retirement age, his is, let's say, $1,000. You're entitled to $1,000 from his benefit. But right now you're receiving $600 on your own. You will continue to receive the $600 on your own, plus another $400 from his record for the total of $1,000. So husband dies, my son has disability. So letter said my check will stop when my son is 16, but he'll get his till 18. Switch to widows said I would miss a check, but now it hasn't come through yet. So it sounds like you've already filed. They're Canadian. And yeah, so you were getting surviving child and care benefits. And that means your son is not disabled. If you have a disabled child that became disabled under the age of 22, you can receive those benefits forever. But luckily he's not disabled. So those benefits stop at your benefits as the child and care benefits stop at 16. His will continue until he hits 18. They'll stop automatically when he hits his 18th birthday. If he's still in high school, then you just have to fill out a form, take it down to his school, and they'll continue the benefits until he graduates. But in terms of filing for a regular widow's benefits, you have to do that again. So that's not an automatic switch. So if you're now 60 years old yourself, you are eligible for surviving benefits, but you actually have to file an application because they're two completely different applications. So you have to call Social Security and set up an appointment. After listening to your YouTube channel for a couple of months now, I am tempted to try to get a job at Social Security office. What is the likelihood that someone with no credentials could be hired? Yeah, you don't need to know anything about Social Security to be hired by Social Security. They put you through rigorous training, and that's one of the unfortunate parts. It takes forever. You're not completely independent for like 2 years. So everything, you go to class 40 hours a week for 3 months plus, and then you're on 100% review for many, many, many months after that. So that's why, even if the Congress decided to do the right thing and give Social Security some money so they could hire people, we won't see any benefit for it for like 2 years. And so the number one thing is, do you have any experience customer service? That's the number one thing, is customer service. That's what they look for, because nobody has experience working at Social Security unless you actually worked at Social Security. So yeah, if you have customer service, then that's what they look for. And I loved work for Social Security. It was an awesome job. People are awesome. The people that visited, 99.9% were awesome. If they weren't awesome when they came in, after we helped them out, they were awesome. So we like to turn people around and say, yes, we understand the bureaucracy and the frustration and all the rest of it, but we're going to do everything we can to help you out. And that was always very, very satisfying. And I had the best staff in the country, so that was even better. So, yeah, if you know anybody that's looking for a job, highly, highly, 100% recommend Social Security Administration. I was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. Motivation in the Marine Corps is, top notch. But my staff was just as motivated. They're not going to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning go run a 10K. But anyway, some of them did. But USA Jobs. .opm.gov, check on there. But more importantly, particularly if you're a veteran, if you served in the Gulf War or a veteran recently, have a certain medal, it's easier for the local Social Security office to hire you. But put your resume together, the long version of your resume, not that one pager, but it has to be a long version talking about, you did, customer service from this time to this time. And then take that down to local Social Security office and just tell them, hey, hand this to the district manager, because you never know when they're going to have allocations to hire. So you might just get lucky. That's how we hired a lot of our people, just lucky. And we had hundreds of people for every job opening. So lovely question. Mom was married 32 years to my dad. They got divorced and she remarried at 57. Her second husband passed away and she's collecting his benefits. Can she check first husband to see if more? Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people miss that one. So thank you for taking care of your mom there. Awesome. We like that. Yes, if there's more money on the other one, but if the first husband is still alive and kicking, then probably not, because the max she can get is up to 50%. But it doesn't hurt to try. It doesn't hurt to try, and be aware of that. So if something, the first husband still alive and kicking, so there's more money there, but because you only get 50%, then there's no more money now. But if anything should happen to him, then yes, switch to the first ex-husband for survivor benefits. Add a front window worker that could work up the ladder. Yes, that's yep. You start off as the CSR, customer service representative, the hardest working, the least paid employees at Social Security. They're generalists and stuff. So, all right. Thank you. The help desk was right. Yes, awesome. My husband is 74 on Social Security, and I am 59 on disability. His Social Security is 2 times my Social Security. Can I be on his Social Security married for 29 years? His Social Security is twice mine. Yes, I am 59 on this. Well, you have to wait till you're 62, though. You can only get spouse benefits at 62, unfortunately. So, yeah, once you hit 62, if his benefit amount is twice yours, you can file for spouse benefits, and that adds to your disability benefits. So a lot of people out there are missing that. They think, oh, I get disability, so I can't get survivor. That'll stop my disability, which will stop my Medicare. No, that is incorrect. You can get disability and whatever you're entitled to from spouse benefits, divorce spouse benefits, surviving spouse benefits, and all the rest of it. Tracy, like and subscribe. Yes, please. This is, it's okay. I admit it's kind of an ego thing. I got more subscribers. Yeah. Okay. I got to admit that. But more importantly, the liking, the subscribing, and all that, it teaches the YouTube to go out there to more people, and more people find money. So, and they find money because you push that little stupid button. Both my parents in the 80s retired civil service, neither received Social Security. To explain why they don't qualify. Yeah, if they're the old civil service retirement system, the old one that, it changed in the 1980s, they didn't pay into Social Security. That's why. So, yeah, they just never paid into Social Security unless they worked somewhere else other than civil service when they were young, or part-time job or something like that. So if they did pay into Social Security, they potentially eligible for those Social Security. But if all they did was work in civil service under the old system, then yeah, they never paid into Social Security. So, Elaine, I live in a small town, limited doctors, and what do you do if your long-term doctor will not accept Advantage? Yeah, That's happening throughout the country, unfortunately. Is You see it in the news every single day. Every time I wake up in the morning and I get these, because that's what I look for. Google sends me that this other hospital in Des Moines is no longer taking Medicare Advantage. This company is dropping this, and this hospital is no longer taking because the Medicare Advantage plans are delaying payments, and they're paying less than what these doctors and hospitals can survive. So yeah, unfortunately. But there might be another Advantage plan, maybe, that your doctor accepts. If that's the doctor you just definitely have to see, ask him what other Advantage plans, unless he says, oh, or he or she says, no, I'm just not taking any of them anymore. I'm doing straight Medicaid, or excuse me, Medicare. If that's the case, then basically the only thing you can do is, pay cash or whatever for the rest of the 20%. Or if you're able to switch to a Medicare supplement plan, the plan N or G. And yeah, every doctor that takes Medicare takes those. Every hospital that takes Medicare takes those. They don't even ask you. It's automatic. Basically, how it is if you have XYZ Medicare supplement plan G, and you go to the doctor, you say, "Yep, I have Medicare." You show them your Medicare card, and Medicare pays, let's say, the 80%, and then the Medicare computer system talks to XYZ Medicare supplement plan, and Medicare supplement plan kicks out the other 20%. They have no say in it whatsoever. It's completely automatic. If Medicare pays it, they have to pay it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So yeah, if you want help to see if there's any other options, click on that, email me, and I'll have my people reach out to you and see. Facts: private consultation for judge hearing Social Security, SSDI, and pension cases. Yeah, no, yeah. If you need help navigating ALJ or something like that, I don't do hearings and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that's the whole thing is kind of a nightmare. The appeals process, initial, and then a reconsideration, and then the ALJ, administrative law judge, and then you've got civil, the appeals council in Falls Church, Virginia, and yeah, the whole system is. Anyway, for my brother, he is getting spousal benefits from his divorced wife. See, she recently passed away, so should he apply for survivor benefits? He took his at 62. Nope, don't have to do anything. It's what's called an auto convert. If he was getting spouse benefits from that person's record, then it automatically converts from a live claim to a surviving claim. So it's 100% automatic. Don't have to do anything. Basically, when the person passes away, if they pass away in the United States, funeral homes and everywhere, they notify Department of Treasury, which stops the last check, and then notifies Social Security and everything. And Social Security computer system looks at that particular person's record, and if there's someone on that record receiving benefits, automatically switches it up. So a lot of people, yeah, they come on here and says, I'm receiving divorce spouse benefits from someone I was married to, 20 years ago, and my check just doubled. Do you know why? I'm like, well, I hate to break the news to you, or maybe you might be happy, but that person has passed away. And so your benefits have automatically been increased. So the Philadelphia office. Oh, okay. Philadelphia office. Way to go, Philadelphia office. Way to go. Good job. Good job. Shout out to Philadelphia office, district office. My sister has 3 dead spouses. 2 are divorced. Can she apply for survivor benefits? Um, so she can apply for benefits on any of them she was married to for 10 years or more, if divorce was involved, or if she was married to one of them for at least 9 months and married to them when that person passed away. So yes, so if she is 60 years old now, she can definitely call up Social Security, set up an appointment, and Social Security employee will look at all 3. If she's eligible for benefits from all 3, they will look at all 3 and see which one is the most money. And then once they find the one with the most money, they'll get her benefits. Angela, I'm 64 in January. Should I go ahead and claim faster benefits? I'm on disability now. And how would I go about doing that? Or should I wait until I'm 65 because I know you lose your percentage? If you're on disability now, almost nobody switches to retirement unless you just, you know, tired of being on disability and the CDRs or something like that, because you're going to take a cut. And why would you want less money? So you just keep on staying on disability, and your benefits will switch from disability to retirement once you hit your full retirement age, but you'll continue to get the same amount. So, yeah, you don't have to do anything. But when you're on disability, there's a few times in your life that you should really do something with Social Security. If you're on disability and you turn 60, you should see if there is any survivor benefits out there available to you. You were married to anybody for 10 years that passed away, or you're married to someone for 9 months and you were married to them when they passed away. So if you're eligible for survivor benefits, you can get survivor benefits on top of your disability. One is reduced from the other, but you can get disability benefits, continue Medicare, and continue to get survivor benefits. So that's at 60. If you're 62, check to see if you're entitled to any spouse benefits, your current spouse or your divorced spouse or anything like that, to see if there's more money there. When you turn 65, then if in your particular case you have a Medicare Advantage, but you really wanted a Medicare supplement, a Plan N or a G, but because your state doesn't offer it to you, or they charge you 3 or 4 times the amount, anybody can get a Medicare supplement plan when they turn 65, or they're new to Medicare Part B, that is. If they're after 65. So at 65, if you want a Medicare supplement, they can't deny you and they can't charge you more. And then at 67 or 66 and 8 months, or whatever your full retirement age, then they switch your benefits from, again, disability to retirement benefits, and work limitations and all that reporting responsibilities goes out the window. If you were married before retirement age and your husband was killed before retirement age, when you become 62, can you get any benefits from him? You can get benefits as a survivor starting at 60 years old. Was killed before. Yeah, so it sounds like you were married to that person when they passed. So yeah, it'd be 9 months, but there are exceptions to that. So if you were only married to that person for, just a few months, you can probably get an exception because he was murdered, it sounds like. So you can get that at 60 years old. Survivor benefits start at 60 years old. Let's see. I don't qualify for QMB. That is the highest level of Medicaid. So Medicaid is the health insurance program, administered by the states. And there's several layers, QMB and QI and SlimB and all kinds of different things. QMB is one of the highest. But he or she does not qualify for QMB because I have a traditional IRA. I've never used it on my only income, 1340. I live in my deceased parents' home alone, but my brothers want to sell it. Yeah, if you have that IRA, it sounds like that's preventing you because Medicaid is a welfare-based program. So if you got a bunch of money somewhere else, then you can't get the welfare. But if you use that money, if you spend down that money, then based on you're just receiving 1340 from Social Security, you're probably going to be eligible for Medicaid. And if you're eligible for Medicaid, then if you have Medicare, because you can have Medicaid and Medicare at the same time, and if you get like a QMB or QI or SlimB, then they will pay for your Part B premium. And then you'll also be eligible for what's called the Medicare Advantage dual eligible plans. Those are the ones with all that have a lot more benefits than normal plans. So you didn't qualify for Medicaid because you have that extra money, but you use it to, it sounds like your brothers want to sell it, you sell the house. And so if you use that money to move or buy yourself a new car or something like that, then you contact Medicaid again and reapply. And they'll say, what happened to the money? I said, well, I bought a new car, I had to move, whatever, you spend it down. So, and Social Security and Medicaid don't count one house and one vehicle. So if you have a $1 million house and a Ferrari, that by law they can't count one house and one vehicle. So yes, hit those yes buttons. Then pay them off. Then what I qualify? Yes. So yep. All right. So I knew what your question was before you answered it. I applied for my sister for September. The earnings record they used was not the same that I saw on my account. How do I correct this? Yeah, so yeah, it's two different accounts. So it's based on that person's, your sister's history or work history, how much they paid in Social Security the entire life, and yours is based on what you paid into Social Security your entire life. So make sure your sister checks that and make sure that's correct. Oh, let's see. I was granted disability in 2014 at the age of 49. My husband was killed just 6 months later at age 42. I called Social Security, informed them. They then gave my daughter survivor benefits. Perfect. Good. It's a good thing you knew about that and you got those benefits. So when you hit the age of 60 years old, then I would definitely check out survivor benefits for yourself based on his record, if they're more than what you're currently receiving on disability. Lanny, I have a multifaceted situation. All right, let's see here. They informed me 5 years later that they overpaid me. I fought them for years. When my daughter graduated, her benefits ended. Then I asked to get my husband's survivors. However, they are still only giving me my disability, which is not enough to live on. SSA has made errors, and I don't have any faith in what they tell me. I know that there has to be additional benefits that I should be able to receive. Um, yeah, so let's see here. So your child receives survivor benefits, and you're receiving disability. And if you're 60 years old and you're entitled to survivor benefits, and those survivor benefits are more than your current disability benefits, then yeah, you could be eligible for those survivor benefits. So you had to be married to the person, when they passed away, or divorced, had married to the person for 10 years. And if that is correct, if that applies, then the only thing that would prevent you from receiving benefits is you're not 60 years old yet, or um, the your deceased spouse's benefit amount is not more than yours. So you can check that by calling Social Security and just asking them. Says, yeah, I want to file for survivor benefits, or I have filed for survivor benefits, and I just want to know, is the reason is because there's no more money there? And if they say yeah, there's just no more money there, then unfortunately yeah, there's no more money. But if you want an official decision, you have to actually file, and they'll send you a letter that said you're not insured, you're not entitled to benefits because there's no more money there. And if you don't agree with what your local office if you're having an issue with your local office, call the 800 number and ask them the same question, or call any country in any office in the country, and they'll be able to help you out. Let's see. After SSDI converts to Social Security at 67, can you still get the full 50% ex-spouse benefit, or am I stuck in SSDI amount? Yes. If you're eligible for spouse benefits, and yes. So if you're 67 and your ex-spouse, just turned 62, because remember, you do not have to wait for an ex-spouse to file for benefits. If that person is 62 years old, then you can file for benefits. It's called independently entitled divorced spouse. The person just has to turn 62. So if they turn 62, when you turn 67, you'll get 50% of that benefit amount. Again, minus your own. So that benefit amount has to be twice your benefit amount. Sorry for all the mess. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for helping to get correct information out there. Thank you for your service. My late hubby was also a Marine, USMC. Hoorah. Semper Fi. So if he was in the Marine Corps, then essentially you were in the Marine Corps in a lot of respects, right? Cherry Point or Camp Pendleton. Well, if you were Camp Pendleton, then you're even more Marine. Anyway, retired CSRS GED employees don't get Social Security, but get to keep approximately 80% of their salary, so it evens out. Yeah, CSRS is a pretty good system. The old system there, they were making good money, but they changed that in the 1980s. So I was part of the new system first, and people always say, "Well, politicians don't pay Social Security." No, maybe politician that was started politician in the 70s, but yeah, all politicians now pay into Social Security. In my office, we had when I retired, I had 100 employees, and everybody, all 100 employees, paid Social Security. That were part of the new system. The people in the old system had already retired. My Social Security is more than my husband's. However, his pension is more than mine. If he passes away first and I am no longer going to kill him, can I keep my Social Security? Yeah, his pension from whatever private whatever has no effect on your Social Security at all. So there's that. So he can kick it around for a little while. So I still have just plain old Medicare. I never used it as a veteran. Why should I keep paying for it? Yeah, if you're 100%, this is a case by case. If you're 100% happy with the VA and you're never going to move to a place that doesn't have awesome VA customer service, and your place has awesome customer service, and some people just go ahead and stop Part B, but with the understanding that if you ever enroll in it again in the future, you're limited to when you can enroll, and you're going to be penalized 10% for every 12 months you did not. There's another option. It's called Medicare Advantage Part B Give Back. So if there's one of those plans in your particular area, you can sign up for a Medicare Advantage only, MA only, without the prescription drug, because VA has the best prescription drug program, because the VA can negotiate with pharmaceutical companies, unlike Medicare, which Medicare just started doing that. Politicians and their pharmaceutical, lobbyists. But anyway, but you can get a Medicare Advantage Part B Give Back if there's one available in your area, so you can have your cake and eat it too. So you can have your VA, have your Medicare, but the Medicare Advantage plan can pay part or perhaps all of your Part B premium, and maybe it has some other benefits too, some extra dental, or a food card, or transportation or something like that. So yeah, if you have an agent or broker that you know and trust, reach out to them and say, hey, is there any Part B give back plan in my area? If not, click on that little QR, email me, and tell me your name, phone number, and your zip code, city, and state, and I can have someone reach out to you and see what's available in your neck of the woods. Because remember, you paid for that Medicare, the Part A and all that kind of stuff. All those decades you paid into Social Security, the FICA tax includes Medicare tax. You paid into it, so you might as well get it back. Save yourself some money. Eugene, I am 63 and on disability benefits. When can my wife get benefits under my record? What? Right now, if she's 62 years old and your benefit amount is twice her benefit amount, then she can start benefits. She has to start benefits on her own record first. So she files for benefits on her own record. And if your benefit amount, your full benefit amount, is twice hers, then she can file another claim. It's called a spouse claim, and get her those extra benefits. But if she gets extra money, she has to take you out to dinner with her, right? If you have an elder who is deceased and needs to be dropped off in a cemetery in another state, consult the help of doctor. Nice. All right. If you are an SSDI and were a federal employee that retired on disability, your SSDI will automatically convert to Social Security age 62, which is the minimum wage. Okay. All right. That's an OPM type of thing. Let's see. Pearl Diver, if we wanted to confirm how much we paid into Social Security and Medicare from our tax returns, where would we look? Yeah, it's just based on from your tax returns. It kind of breaks it down there, but it's 6.2% for Social Security FICA tax, and 1.45% for the Medicare, and then your employer matches that, pays the 6.2 and the 1.45. So that's that's standard. I was just fixing to apply for divorced spouse benefits, and sadly he passed away this week. Wow. I'm 62 on my own Social Security disability record, and apply for his benefits now. Will it be discounted or best to wait? Yes. If you file for surviving spouse benefits, every month you take those benefits early before your full retirement age, yes, they are reduced, just like spouse benefits, regular living spouse benefits. Every month you take those benefits before your early retirement's reduced. Retirement benefits, same thing. Every month you take your benefits before. You don't have to wait a year or anything like that. Every month you take it early, or every month you take it late, they add extra money onto it up until your full retirement age. All right, we're getting close to an hour here, so let's a couple more questions, and then we will call it a day. Two marriages, two divorces. First marriage 15 years, second lasted 13. So you're good on either spouse. Second husband passed away, so more money because you're 100% on that one. I retired at 62 of off his, took mine at 70, was higher. Wow, you did everything well. Awesome. At 74, could I draw from first hubby? Social Security is higher. Yes. Yes, you've done everything 100% correctly. You started getting survivor benefits to let your own increase. Yours increased up until 70, and you jumped onto your own. And I guess your first husband has since passed, or if they're still alive, they're still more than twice yours. Yeah, I would call Social Security and yes, get that extra money. Wow, good job. You've done everything correctly. All right, let me see if I got find some new people here. I am a court determined as an unemployable and I am getting my Social Security benefits. Will my ex-wife be able to apply for a portion of my Social Security? If she gets approved with that, will that reduce my Social Security check? Yes, your ex-wife, if she was married to you for 10 years or longer and your benefit is twice hers, yes, she can get benefits on your record. You won't even know about it. It won't affect your benefit amount. Social Security won't call you and say, "Hey, your ex-wife is filing. Can she file on your?" They won't. Yeah. All right. Any word on the government offset bill? I do receive my Social Security as I work 25 years in construction, then 16 years stay sir. Yeah, that's they've been trying to pass that for decades, and yeah. Um, all right, let's see here. I probably didn't make myself clear. My first question: my husband was killed when we were both under 50. When I turn 62 and start drawing Social Security, can I still receive? Yeah, again, you can do it as early as 60 years old. If you're 62, if there's more benefit, more money on there, then yes. Correction, I receive a disability. I'm 64 old. I'm 64 years old, 65 in April. When can I get my ex-husband's Social Security now? Now, file for it now. Get that money. If there's more money on there, get it now. All right. Let's see here. I am 64. Can I get my ex-husband's? I get SSDI. Yes. If your ex-husband's benefit amount is more than yours, twice more than yours, if he's still alive, then yes, you can get spouse benefits added to your disability benefits. Absolutely. All right. We are over an hour, and I think we did pretty good on the questions today. I think we answered pretty much all of them. If I missed your question, make sure you join me tomorrow, and I'll be back tomorrow, answer any and all of your questions. Tell